I want to take some time to come on here and just talk about a little bit of the revelation and the hope that the Lord has given me throughout a very difficult time in my life that I didn't see coming. Recently, this season of my life has kind of seemed like every single turn was so totally unexpected, and it's beautiful, but it's really painful. I believe that the Lord has a blessing coming for me soon. I've been through a lot, and I think he finally wants to bless my heart after everything that has happened. But in that, it's not just handed to me. In that, I have to be the best version of myself to receive it. And so the Lord is very slowly but surely refining me, and I just kind of wanted to come on here and share some of that wisdom and tie a psalm to it, because these things are huge. And King David talks so much about heartbreak, hardship, and then revelation and joy in the Lord, and that's kind of what I see going on right now. When we're reaching a time where we feel really, really hopeless, maybe you're stranded somewhere that you're unfamiliar with, or you are at your wit's end with a failing relationship, no one wants to admit that they are unable to help themselves. No one wants to admit that. And so sin has seemed to hardwire the desire for self-reliance into our DNA, and it makes it so difficult to surrender everything to the Lord, because we really just want to see ourselves as self-reliant and self-sustainable. God has been orchestrating these black swan moments in my life that seem like they're breaking me down, but it was to destroy everything that I falsely built my hope and my identity on. And while every bit of it seemed like bad luck, it really was precise demolition. And the reason that it had to be unpredictable was because if I knew it was coming, I would have braced for it. Psalm 116 verse 3, the ropes of death were wrapped around me, and the torments of Sheol overcame me. I encountered trouble and sorrow, then I called on the name of the Lord. Lord, save me. It's very clearly fears death, persecution, isolation, affliction, and he's physically, emotionally, and spiritually at the end of himself. Psalm 116 verses 5 through 6, the Lord is gracious and righteous. Our God is compassionate. The Lord guards the inexperienced. I was helpless, and he saved me. And this is just a really beautiful picture of God's character and the way that his compassion spans the width of eternity, literally. And if you read Psalm 116 over and over again, you will eventually catch on to this idea that the psalmist's praise of the Lord is very intimately tied into the admission of his own weakness. So the season that I'm in right now is posing like so many different questions. Do I choose patience? Do I choose protection? What is the right decision? What do you do with overthinking? Do you tune into the source, or do you blur it out because it's not that deep? The very many things that I'm going through right now is obviously when I was with my ex-boyfriend, that was from ages 14 to 17. And so the bulk of my teenagerhood and coming out of this, like I was, freshly 17. I had no idea how to date. Like, I don't know what dating looks like. I didn't know like what that looked like. And I definitely didn't know how to do it righteously. I definitely made a lot of dating mistakes. And a lot of things happened. And so a lot of the revelation and the refinement that the Lord is teaching me and bestowing to me right now has to do with that, and has to do with you've been through so much, and I want to refine you because you deserve the best partner in the end, but to get that, you have to be it too. To put it very simply, the Lord is teaching me things like, how do I go about being upset? How do I go whenever things don't go my way? Like, what does real healthy communication look like? What do boundaries look like? Really, ultimately, in a whole sense, what does dating in the Lord's way look like? God gave me like a really, really beautiful epiphany as I was speaking it. Like, it was not even something that came to my mind first. I was talking to someone and it came out of my mouth, and I immediately knew like that was not my thought, that was the Lord's. Basically what he told me was, King David, for example, we just read a psalm by King David, a beautiful man, righteous after the Lord's heart, like someone who knows how to run to God during a terrible time, someone who knows what the walk of faith looks like and is a real man of God, except for the fact that he had at least 8 named wives in the Bible. And God kind of taught me, he's like, you are searching for someone, you are looking for these people, like you are craving companionship, which is a good thing. I hardwired you that way, but what makes you feel any different than King David, righteous, but he's got 8 wives, and you got boys in your phone? Like, you've got, more than one boy that you're giving attention to, that you're talking to, and that you're looking to complete your life. So like, what makes it any different? And I was like, wow, God, like you're right, like literally, like what makes it different? Because I know that I am a godly woman after the Lord's heart, and the Lord has refined me that way. But I got all these guys on my phone in pursuit of a husband, and if I want the best version of someone someday, they deserve that of me too. And that doesn't come from fixing my act once I find a husband. It comes from being a good candidate for a good wife now. Like, I could meet a guy and he could be like, yeah, once we start dating, I'm gonna remove all these girls off my Snapchat, I'm gonna unfollow all these girls on Instagram, I'm gonna block all these people on my phone. But there's no guarantee of that. And if that's what you're gonna do, then why don't you do it now? You must be a good candidate for a good husband starting now. And while the attention from all these different people, let's say it's like 4 different people, if you've got like 4 different people on your phone, obviously the attention from 4 different people feels great. If 4 different people are interested in me, like, that's, I gotta be doing something right. Like, there's gotta be something about me. And while that feels great, your kingdom purpose in marriage is one person, one unity, one covenant under one God. And you cannot grow accustomed to the attention from 4 different people, because you're gonna get in a marriage and it's not going to be enough for you. Like, just having one person, like, you're going to constantly be seeking more. You're going to be like, well, where's 2, 3, and 4? Like, you need to grow accustomed to having one attention from one person, and it needs to be enough for you. And if it's not, that's a whole separate issue, because a partner is not meant to complete, validate, or fulfill you in any way. They're just an addition to your life. Before God is going to grant you a partner, is going to grant you your kingdom spouse, he's going to teach you to be fully and 100% content in him only, because there's a God-sized hole in every person's heart, and it is too heavy and too big and too unfair of a burden for another human to have to carry that and fill that hole. That's not what they were meant for. That is an unfair burden. There's a reason that Jesus took on the cross, and it's for that. Today, it's also just realizing that God knows what it's like to want companionship. Like, he put the desire on your heart for a reason. And I think a lot of times we forget that God does not need us. We are not necessary to him. We are here because he wanted companionship and he wanted to create us. He knows exactly what it's like to feel alone. He knows exactly what it's like to seek companionship. That's literally why we're here. We are not a necessity by any means. And the same goes for your partner. They are not necessary in your life. And once you reach a point where you realize and live by the idea that you could die content without a partner and it just being you and God, that's when the Lord will give you the desires of your heart, is whenever you find complete, total contentment in him. This video is a lot longer than like I normally make it, but I wanted to throw in like one last point. If you're not familiar with the process of like real life refining silver, like from a silversmith, basically what it is the silversmith holds the silver up to the base of the fire, and he holds like the base, the blue of the fire, and he holds it there until he can see his image reflected in it. And I think that should sound familiar. And it is so painful. It is so uncomfortable. It puts so much weight and strain on you, but the product that comes out of it is so beautiful, and it's so worth it, and it's so useful. It's fruitful. Like, it does something. And I say that because it is literally applicable to anything ever that you could possibly be going through. But that's pretty much it for what is on my heart right now and what I feel called to share. Yeah, that's pretty much it.